After years of silence, Song Hye-kyo's parents reveal hidden struggles behind her divorce, but what exactly have they been hiding all this time? What untold pain did their daughter endure behind closed doors? As rumors swirled and fans were left in the dark, her parents remained tight-lipped. Until now. Buckle up, because Red Carpet Revealed is diving deep into the shocking truth behind one of Korea's most talked about breakups. Let's uncover what really happened, starting now. For years, the world speculated, whispered, and wondered, what truly led to the shocking end of the Song couple, once hailed as the ultimate fairy tale romance. While Song Hye-kyo and Song Joong-ki remained largely silent in the aftermath of their sudden divorce, the truth, layered in pain, private conflicts, and quiet desperation, has finally begun to surface. And now, in a revelation that has sent shockwaves across the nation, Song Hye-kyo's parents have broken their silence, exposing the hidden emotional battle that tore their daughter apart behind the scenes. When Song Hye-kyo and Song Joong-ki first announced their engagement, the world celebrated. Fans cried tears of joy. Media dubbed them Korea's royal couple. Mystery and descendants of the sun had felt too real to be just acting, and when fiction turned into reality, the public rejoiced. But while the red carpets glittered and magazine covers smiled, something darker was brewing beneath the surface. Family meetings, silent warnings. According to close sources from both families, tension didn't erupt overnight, it simmered. Song Hye-kyo's parents have now revealed that there were multiple private meetings between the two families, long before the divorce papers were even drafted. Behind closed doors, the atmosphere was far from celebratory. There were tears. Her mother confessed. We pleaded with both of them. We sat at the table with his family, trying to understand what was going wrong. We offered advice, asked them to take time, to reflect, to heal. But it seemed like they were already too far gone. Those meetings, held quietly in neutral places, were filled with emotional appeals. But cracks kept appearing, small, painful moments that hinted at deeper fractures, differences in values, misunderstandings that festered, and perhaps most tragically, a growing emotional distance neither side could bridge. She was withering in silence. The most haunting part of the parents' revelation was the description of their daughter's internal battle. Far from the strong, radiant actress fans saw on screen, Song Hye-kyo was slowly retreating into herself. They said, "She stopped calling us for weeks at a time," her father admitted, voice trembling. And when she did, her voice was tired. Not physically, emotionally. It was like she was trying to hold up the sky alone. Friends of the family described how she began canceling family dinners, avoiding holidays, and retreating into work. Publicly, she smiled. Privately, she wept. She was withering in silence, her mother said. Trying to protect his image, trying to protect herself. But who was protecting her? The breaking point. Sources now reveal that the breaking point came after a final family intervention, one that was supposed to be the last chance for reconciliation, held just weeks before the official divorce announcement. This meeting was described as heart-wrenching and hopeless. Everyone was crying, a relative disclosed. But it wasn't just sadness. It was frustration. Everyone knew things had gone too far. What exactly happened between the couple remains known only to them. But what's clear now is that the family had exhausted every effort. There was no shouting, no blame, silence, and resignation. We wanted them to find their way back, her father said, hands shaking. But sometimes, love is not enough. Why speak now? So why did her parents decide to speak now, years after the divorce stunned the world? We stayed silent out of respect, her mother explained. But the false narratives, cruel assumptions, they've been hurting her for too long. People think she gave up easily. They don't know how hard she tried. The couple emphasized that their daughter never wanted to become a divorcee, and that the decision to end the marriage was not made lightly. It was, in her father's words, a final act of survival. When the ink on the divorce papers dried, the world moved on, but for Song Hye-kyo, emotional wreckage was just beginning. According to those closest to her, the months that followed the split were some of the darkest periods in her life. There were days when she didn't leave her apartment. Longtime stylist confided she refused projects, barely ate, and would just stare at her scripts in silence. She wasn't grieving a man, she was grieving a dream. What hurt her the most, Her family claims wasn't just the failed marriage, it was the relentless judgment from the public. People were so quick to label her cold, distant, or ambitious to a fault, her father said bitterly. If she were the villain in a drama she didn't write. A woman torn between love and loyalty. What makes this story all the more haunting is the emotional trap Song Hye-kyo found herself in, torn between loyalty to her former husband and the pain of her own truth. We told her to speak out. Her mother revealed, to explain what really happened. But she refused. She didn't want to start a war. She didn't want to drag anyone through the mud, no matter what had been done to her. Insiders confirmed that Song Hye-kyo chose silence over scandal, even when tabloids published damaging rumors that she had prioritized her career, that she was emotionally distant, or even that she had never truly loved her husband. She absorbed every blow, said a friend in the industry. And she did it with grace. But it destroyed her from the inside. The rumors no one dared to address. Now, with her parents finally stepping forward, a different narrative has begun to emerge, one that challenges the public perception that Song Hye-kyo was the one who let go too easily. There were things happening behind the scenes that she was too proud to reveal. Her father hinted, things that no woman should endure. First, the family stopped short of detailing specific incidents, but their tone spoke volumes. One confidant mentioned repeated moments of deep betrayal and emotional abandonment as key reasons for the marriage's failure. She was isolated, not just physically, spiritually, her mother added. She needed a partner, not a stranger in the same home. Turning point, her rise from the ashes. Yet, just when it seemed like the weight of it all might crush her, Song Hye-kyo made an extraordinary choice, not to fight back with words, but with action. She returned to the screen with The Glory, a role unlike any she had taken before, raw, vengeful, emotionally fierce. Critics praised her performance not just for its technical brilliance, but for the palpable rage and sorrow that bled through every scene. She wasn't acting, a co-star remarked. She was exorcising. The public, once divided, began to see her in a new light. Fans who had once questioned her now flooded her with messages of support. For the first time, the world began to see the woman behind the actress, the survivor, the fighter. A message to women everywhere. Now, with her parents' emotional confession coming to light, many are hailing Song Hye-kyo not just as a star, but as a symbol of resilience. "We're proud of her," her mother said. Not for being strong, but for allowing herself to be vulnerable, to fall apart, and to build herself back again. Perhaps that is the real story behind the headlines, not a failed marriage, but a woman's quiet triumph over pain, pressure, and the suffocating weight of public expectation. As the dust settles and the truth begins to unravel, Song Hye-kyo stands not as a tragic heroine, but as a powerful reminder that sometimes, the most courageous act a woman can commit is walking